Hello, how are you? There is a food that, when you place it under your tongue, can quickly help with your circulation and blood pressure. In this video, I'm going to tell you what this food is, how to use it, in what quantity, and in the correct and safe way for you. You're going to love it for sure. Stay until the end because you won't want to miss this. Before we start, I want to ask you if you have any circulation problems or if you have any issues with blood pressure. What bothers you? Write it for me down here in the comments. I would love to see your comment. Remember to go ahead and like the video. It's very important for me here on the channel. It shows YouTube that you support and trust my content. And if you know someone who wants more tips about this, share this video. Let's expand our chain of kindness. Our mouth is very interesting. It has some receptors called TRPV1, which are heat and stimulus sensors, and there's an ingredient in this food that, when it comes into contact with these receptors, immediately activates them and sends a signal to our body's nervous system. This signal specifically activates the autonomic nervous system, which automatically regulates functions like circulation, heart rate, and the tone of blood vessels. So, as a result, our body responds with slight vasodilation, an increase in blood flow, and a sensation of warmth. Here's another interesting point. When the blood vessels relax, the resistance to blood flow decreases. And this is one of the factors that can most interfere with or influence our blood pressure. You must be excited and wanting to know, after all, what this food is. It is scientifically proven, and it is cayenne pepper. To get this beneficial effect, you take a small amount, just a pinch of cayenne pepper, touch it to the mucous membrane in your mouth, or place it under your tongue and hold it there for 20 to 30 seconds. Immediately, you'll feel a sudden warmth, a slight activation, and a sensation of increased circulation. This is truly a physiological response of our body. The effect really ends up being very fast. People notice this in a very clear way, right? Because this food comes into contact with the mucous membrane, which is different from when you ingest it through the digestive tract, where the food has to be swallowed, passes through the stomach, and is only absorbed later in the intestine. So, usually the effect is much faster and practically immediate. There's a very common mistake for those who try this strategy, which is thinking that the more pepper you use, the stronger the effect will be. But that's not actually the case. This is an important point for us to mention. Too much can irritate your mucous membrane, cause discomfort, and it won't improve the result. Here, less is more. Just a pinch is enough. If you feel excessive discomfort, some people are very sensitive to pepper. The ideal thing is not to drink water because it will only spread it further across your mucous membrane. What actually neutralizes capsaicin is milk or a piece of bread, for example, or cheese because of the protein, which helps to neutralize it in this way. So, to do it the right way, you use a minimal amount, just on the tip of your finger or on a spoon, as I mentioned. Touch it to the mucous membrane in your mouth for 20 to 30 seconds, without overdoing it, without swallowing immediately, just to give that little stimulation. And what's really important is that you use cayenne pepper. If you use a much stronger pepper, like the Carolina Reaper or other very aggressive peppers, or an industrialized sauce with vinegar and preservatives, it can cause a chemical burn on your mucous membrane. So, we really need to know which pepper to use, and it has to be pure cayenne pepper, in powder form, without any sauce or anything like that. It's also worth emphasizing that if you already have any kind of high blood pressure issues, take medication for blood pressure, or are unsure whether you should try this test, talk to your doctor or nutritionist first. This video is for informational purposes only, and obviously the purpose of this video is not to replace any medication you take for blood pressure. And it's also not a free pass for you to neglect your diet or stop taking care of your blood pressure in other ways. Remember that I have a playlist here with lots of great tips to help you control your blood pressure naturally. This issue of the relationship between chili peppers and blood pressure is very peculiar because what people usually think is that chili peppers raise blood pressure, since they give that heat, that rush. But what scientific studies have actually found is just the opposite, that chili peppers have the ability to help as a complement to control blood pressure. The people who need to be careful with this are those who have a lot of oral sensitivity. Obviously, anyone who has any kind of sore or ulcer in their mouth who can't tolerate chili peppers, in this case, it's better to avoid them because it will be very harsh on the mucous membrane. But it's interesting, it's not the chili pepper itself. When we understand the mechanism and realize that our body responds to sensory stimuli, to food stimuli, we see the role that diet and natural things play in our bodies. That's what I was telling you, right? So, there are other strategies besides this chili pepper one that can also help you control your blood pressure, and I'll leave that playlist I promised for you down below in the description. Tell me if you try any techniques to help control your blood pressure in your daily life as a compliment. I would love to see your comment. Leave a like on the video as that helps me a lot, and share it with anyone who needs this information. Let's expand this chain of kindness because that's what I want here with the channel. See you next time. Bye.